I'm going to rank the top 50 NBA players of the 2024-25 season. The top 5 are going to be insane, so stay tuned, and let's get started. For the 50th pick, I'm selecting Jaren Jackson Jr. He was an all-star at one point and Defensive Player of the Year, but he suffered some injuries, so he goes here. I mean, pretty much the entire Grizzlies roster suffered injuries last year, so he's going to go here anyway. At 49, I got Darius Garland. He's a great player who's had a great start to the season. His defense is still a problem though, but he could go up on this list if he continues playing like he has. For the 48th pick, I'm selecting Bradley Beal. He averaged 31.3 points per game at one point for the Wizards, but he has not been nearly as good for the Sun and cannot stay healthy. He might just have the worst contract in all of basketball, but when he's still healthy, he's pretty good star. Now for the 47th pick, I think I'm going to go for the Miami Heat sharpshooter Tyler Hero. This guy has some incredible clutch moments for the Heat and is an underrated scorer. He's not a great defender though, so he's going to stay here at 47. For the 46th spot, I got a 3-and-D specialist Mikal Bridges. This guy was amazing for the Nets. He was averaging like 26 a game back when he was playing for the Nets. He was awesome. But now he's on the Knicks and has completely ruined his jump shot. I mean, it looks disgusting. He hasn't even been that good of a defender. I'm hoping that he manages to revive this because he was amazing in his prime. For spot 45, I'm going with the Houston Rockets center, Alperen Sengun. He's kind of like Jokic, but not quite as good. For 44th, I'm selecting a sharpshooter center, Kristaps Porzingis. He has been great for the Celtics and everyone averaged 21 points per game last season and won the championship. For the 43rd best player, I'm selecting Scotty Barnes. He's a great defender and offensive player. He finally made an offensive jump last year that Raptors fans were waiting for, and now that Siakam has left, he's the leader of the Raptors. For the 42nd pick, I'm selecting DeMar DeRozan. He joined a new team this year, the Kings, so he's surrounded by De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. So there are not enough points to go around for him to stay as a superstar, but he's still pretty good and stays at 42. At 41, I'm going to select Drew Holiday. He's one of the best defensive guards of this generation. He's been a 3-and-D specialist throughout his career, so unsurprisingly has 2 rings. The Bucks really miss this guy. At 40, I'm going to go with Jarrett Allen. He was an all-star replacement last year and is a great center. The Cavs have started on fire because Kenny Atkinson has found a way to pair him with the 39th best player, Evan Mobley. He's having an explosion this year. Hopefully the Cavs find a way to get him shooting threes. For the 38th best player, I'm going to go with Derek White. He has been incredible with the Celtics and might be the best 3-and-D player in the league, which is why he won a championship last year. I swear when I watch this guy play, he doesn't miss, and he hounds you with his D. Pause. 37th, I have James Harden. This is a good time to remind you that I don't think this is a perfect list, and a lot of you will disagree with me. This is just my opinion. James Harden is an electric scorer and isn't quite the Houston MVP James Harden, but he's still doing a decent job at leading this Clippers team. For 36th, I'm going to select Jamal Murray. He hasn't been as efficient as normal this year, but he's beginning to find his groove and is a great pairing with Nikola Jokic. For my 35th place, I'm going with Chet Holmgren. He's a great player and defender who needs to start eating a lot and put on some weight because he is skinny, but he's a center who can shoot threes and you can't go wrong with that. At 34, I have another Thunder player, Jalen Williams. This guy can defend well and is a lethal scorer. For third, I got Trae Young. He's an amazing passer and scorer despite his small size, but he cannot defend. At 32, I'm selecting the second best Pacers player, Pascal Siakam. He has great footwork, and I miss his nickname with the Raptors, Spicy P. At 31, I'm selecting Paul George. He now plays for the Sixers, so naturally he will never be healthy, but he's a 3-and-D specialist who has proved he can average 20 plus a game. Moving on to our top 30, I'm selecting the star of a team that nobody watches, Lauri Markkanen. All 7 Jazz fans will tell you he deserves this spot. For 29, I'm going with Zion Williamson. He's the opposite of Chet Holmgren. He's eating his way out of the league. When he's in good shape and healthy, he has proven he can be a star though. For 28, I'm selecting Bam Adebayo. He's an excellent defender for the Heat and had an awesome Olympics as well. For 27, I'm going with LaMelo Ball. He's having a big jump this season and already had a 50-piece against the Bucks. I feel he could learn to defend better due to his length. For 26, I'm going with Jimmy Buckets. He's a star who excels in the playoffs. He has taken mid-teams to the finals twice. Now for the top 25. To begin this list, I'm going with Paolo Banchero. This guy has made a huge jump this year, and I think he could become a superstar one day. At 24, I'm going with Kyrie Irving. He's an excellent 1B to Luka Doncic and helped the Mavs go to the finals. For 23, I'm selecting Tyrese Maxey. He's one of the happiest players in the league. I mean, he's always smiling. He's also a great pairing with Embiid and is part of an awesome big three. At 22, I got Domantas Sabonis. He's one of the best rebounders in the league and somehow got an MVP vote last year. For 21, I'm selecting the alien, Victor Wembanyama. He will climb high up this list very soon and is averaging more blocks than the entire Miami Heat team. For 20, I'm going with Tyrese Halliburton. He's an elite scorer and can play very fast. At the start of last season, he was looking like a top 10 player but hasn't been the same since getting injured. Now for 19, I got the speedy De'Aaron Fox. He's an all-star scorer and gets his share of steals as well. For 18, I'm selecting Kawhi Leonard. This man has glass legs. They're always getting injured, but when he plays, he's an all-NBA player. For the 17th, I'm selecting the Celtics 1B, Jaylen Brown. He's a great scorer who played excellent defense against Luka in the finals and won the finals MVP. For the 16th, I'm going with another 1B for the Bucks, Damian Lillard. He hasn't been the Portland Dame that we are used to for the Bucks, but he can still give you 30 on any given night. For the 15th, I got Donovan Mitchell. He's the leader of a Cavs team that is the best team in the league record-wise. For 14, I got Devin Booker. He's an all-star scorer who is elite, yet not the best player on his team thanks to KD. For 13, I got Ja Morant. If he stops sowing guns on social media, he could be higher. He's one of the most athletic players in the league. For 12, I'm selecting the most glazed player in the league, Anthony Edwards. He has a great offense to go along with great defense. He's chucking up threes this season and it is working because he's actually making them. For 11th, I got Jalen Brunson. He's the Knicks' best player and is leading them to hopefully compete with the Celtics and Cavs. To begin our top 10, I got the King, LeBron James. He just had a 39-point triple-double. 39's a lot, right? Well, that is also his age. He's doing this at 39 years old. At 9, I got another Laker, Anthony Davis. He's an excellent defender who has looked like an MVP to start this season. He somehow does not have a Defensive Player of the Year, despite being in the running for many of them. At 8, I got Kevin Durant. He's one of the most unstoppable players of all time and has come up clutch big for the Suns many times this season, despite his old age. At 7, I'm selecting the best shooter ever, Stephen Curry. He's quite old as well and still playing like a superstar. The Warriors have had a great start to the season and he has been a big part of it, along with his splash buddy, Buddy Hield. At 6, I got Jason Tatum, the champion who is trying to prove Steve Kerr wrong for benching him in the Olympics. Tatum has looked like an MVP to start the season. And now let's begin the top 5. By the way, did you know if you press the subscribe button, which is completely free, it disappears? For 5th, I got Joel Embiid. His bones are made of paper, but he's still a superstar when healthy. Hopefully he gets well soon. At 4, I got the Canadian Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's an elite driving player who has impeccable footwork and finishing skills. I think he's going to start developing a better three-point shot and might even win an MVP at one point. In 3rd place, I got Giannis Antetokounmpo. He can defend and score. He just sort of rams through everybody to get to the basket, but it works. He cannot shoot though. Remember when no one could pronounce his name? Yeah, he's popular enough that everyone can pronounce it now. At 2, I got Luka Doncic. He's an elite playmaker and scorer. Last year, he looked like an average defender, which is a huge step forward for him. And finally, for number 1, I got the MVP Nikola Jokic. He's one of the best offensive players of this generation. Leave a comment on what you think.